can't believe I booked a window seat without a window. Do you think it's okay to charge a full service price and offer a very budget product? Today I'm flying on what used to be one of my favorite airlines, Malaysia Airlines. I'll be traveling from Chennai to Melbourne via Kuala Lumpur. Join me on an in-depth review of Malaysia Airlines economy class. I'm at the new Chennai International Airport, about to fly back to Australia on Malaysia Airlines. Chennai Airport is the fifth busiest airport in India, and they just opened a new international terminal here. I made a short video on this terminal which you can check out right here. Now normally if I'm traveling to Chennai Airport I would be taking a taxi, but today I'm actually going to try out the metro, and that's because the metro connects me directly to the airport, making it so much faster than taking a taxi. As you can see, I'm very chuffed about the metro, as every city I've lived in since leaving Chennai doesn't have a train service to the airport. Malaysia Airlines operate 2 flights from Chennai. I'm on the dreaded red-eye departure which leaves just before midnight. The check-in was reasonably smooth and my bags were checked all the way through to Melbourne. There are business class counters if you have elite status with oneworld. This is where I met my first hiccup of the day, as the check-in agent forgot to provide me with the lounge invitation. After admiring the airport a little bit more, I made my way through immigration and security in pursuit of the lounge. oneworld members are provided with access to the Travel Club lounge, which is located in level 2 of the airport. However, I got to the entrance only to be told that I needed an invitation to get in. After a bit of back and forth with Malaysia Airlines and wasting 30 minutes, I was finally allowed inside. It was all worth it in the end, as the lounge was quite impressive. I was later told that filming was not allowed, so here are some photos of the food instead. All that wasted time meant my flight was soon called for boarding, and I made my way through a largely empty airport to gate 8. It's just insane how empty this airport is in most of the places. This first flight to Kuala Lumpur is on a Boeing 737-800. Malaysia Airlines has a total of 42 of these aircraft in their fleet. I'm on an older aircraft today and it features 144 seats in a 3-3 layout. Immediately upon boarding, I realized I've made one of the most cardinal sins of seat selection on a 737. Oh, no window.
Oh.
Oops.
Okay, at last I'll check. Is there any other window seat?
Alright, thank you.
If possible.
In case you're wondering, this is standard across many 737s, in fact all of them. Row 8 or 9 is where the air conditioning ducts are located, and I could say I was taking one for the team. Taking a closer look at the seat, I was quite surprised by how cramped it felt, despite being 30-inch pitch. The recline also felt quite minimal, and there was no adjustable headrest, making it feel more like a low-cost carrier. The seat came with a pillow and blanket for this overnight flight. The TV screen was still waking up, but here's a remote that can be used to control it. And there is a USB port for charging all your stuff. The seat pocket is fairly large, and this is also where I found the provided wired headphones. Oh, the TV is finally up and running now, which is a massive improvement, but I just can't select anything. This entertainment system doesn't really work, does it? As I check out the individual air vents and the reading lights in the meantime, the TV suddenly bursts into life with this musical safety video, which is quite interesting but got annoying after 4 flights. Anyway, the flight left on time just after midnight, and it was time to say bye to Chennai and India. After takeoff, I really wanted to catch some sleep, but this was difficult as the lights were left fully on. I was surprised that the lights stayed in this position for almost 2 hours, which was when the meal service began. The food itself was pretty good, however, and I have nothing to complain about. I tried to have another go at the entertainment system, but it kept getting stuck, so I decided to give up and go back to sleep. As the sun broke through the horizon and the flight started to approach KUL, I was totally happy to be finally off this flight. Oh man, I was so exhausted after that flight. That was one of the worst seats on a 737. Kuala Lumpur International Airport is still how I remember it to be. It feels very modern and efficient to transit through. My flight arrived at the main terminal building, which is where you would find this lineup of aircraft models. I'm just guessing here, but it seems to represent all the airlines that fly to this airport. Most international flights, including my next flight to Melbourne, leave from the satellite terminal. Normally, you would take the air train, but this recently broke down, meaning we were instead taken on a bus. The buses were quite frequent, and I'm not going to complain about this as we got some nice views of the tarmac from the bus. The satellite terminal is in an X shape, and most international flights depart from here. It features many duty-free shops and restaurants, although many were closed at this time. Lots of stops still seem to be closed here at KLIA. Maybe there's some kind of redevelopment going on after COVID. As you can see, there's nothing much open. The Malaysian Airlines flagship Golden Lounge is also located here. Once again, access is provided based on One World membership. There is also a Platinum Lounge here, which I don't have access to. By the way, I came to this lounge with very low expectations, and I'm so surprised by just how good it is. The lounge is partitioned into several areas, such as a bar, several dining zones, and quiet zones next to the windows. The seats next to the windows are my go-to as they offer sweeping tarmac views. I'm spoiled for choice with the food options in this lounge as there are several counters. Firstly, there is a noodle bar where I can choose between 3 options and a variety of condiments. Next, there is a nasi lemak station, which is super impressive with all the ingredients to make this Malaysian delicacy. And then there is a dim sum counter as well. This is all on top of the continental and western breakfast options that you'll find in a lounge. If you're after a refresh, the lounge features shower facilities which are quite spacious. During my visit, there was no hot water, but I didn't really mind as it was tropical outside. I also like how the lounge has nap rooms. While I didn't get to use it myself, I appreciate the functionality of these. Overall, this is a really fantastic lounge and one of the highlights of my trip on Malaysia Airlines. Definitely feel a lot more refreshed after coming here. Soon a boarding call was made and I was on my way to catch my next flight to Melbourne. The airport looks so shiny. This flight was on an Airbus A330-300, which is the workhorse of the Malaysia Airlines long-haul fleet. This is the seat map for my flight today, which is the standard 242 layout. Malaysia Airlines operate 2 flights a day to Melbourne, and if I was you, I would book myself on the other flight, which is operated by a wet lease Scandinavian Airlines A350.
Hi, good morning. 11K across and turn to the right.
Thank you. After my previous flight, I was quite happy to find myself in an extra legroom seat. The seats continue with the red theme from the last flight, with amenities like the pillow, blanket, and the headphones. For reference, this is what the standard seat feels like. The legroom on this aircraft is a lot better than the previous one. Being the bulkhead seat, the TV screen and the meal trays are on the side for this flight. Once again, it was a timely departure for this flight as we taxied through the largely empty airport towards the runway. In the distance, we can see KLIA 2, which is the low-cost terminal here. The two are not connected airside and you will need to pass Malaysian immigration if you're changing from KLIA 1 to KLIA 2. Upon takeoff, there was a BS service which I skipped and instead opted for the water, and I really liked this cup. Along with this, we were given a packet of salted peanuts. The flight time to Melbourne was just 7 hours and the first meal service began rather promptly. As you can see, the tray table wasn't very clean and starting to show its age. However, the meals were once again pretty good. I went for the nasi lemak, which was very tasty indeed. As the meal service was completed, I made a quick stop to the toilet. I was quite surprised by how dirty this was. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, but surely this is not normal. I tried to give this other entertainment system a go, but this was just as terrible to use. As I was super tired from my last flight, I decided to give up and sleep through the remainder of this flight. Waking up a few hours later over Kuba PD, I was presented with the pre-arrival snack, which was the chicken pie. Finally, we were on approach to Melbourne and I was very glad to be out of this flight soon. In summary, this flight experience at Malaysia Airlines has to be one of the worst economy class experience I've had. The most positive aspect of the whole experience was probably the meals and the lounge at Kuala Lumpur. Apart from that, the planes were dirty and the seats were uncomfortable. The service was average and the in-flight entertainment was totally unusable. It is a pity as several years back they used to be one of the best Asian carriers. But all the cost cutting has made them into a low-cost carrier that still demands full service fares. While they may provide a convenient one-stop connection between India and Australia, I will consider other flight options before flying with Malaysia Airlines again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne Airport. It's been our pleasure serving you and thank you for flying with Malaysia Airlines, a member of One World Alliance, and we hope you have enjoyed our Malaysia hospitality. Thank you.
Bye.
Hope you found this video useful and got an insight into flying Malaysia Airlines. I look forward to taking you on another travel adventure very soon.